A very good afternoon to everyone. I'm Fatima Zainab, and I welcome you all to Mindspark 2022, the ultimate online quiz on general knowledge and IQ related to medicine and surgery, organized by the Apprentice Journal of the Medical Students Forum, Faculty of Medicine, University of Kelaniya. I warmly welcome our guest, Senior Professor Janaki Heva Vicenti, Dean, Faculty of Medicine, University of Kelaniya, Professor Kemal Dean, Emeritus Professor and former Head of Department of Surgery, Faculty of Medicine, University of Kelaniya, Professor Rohan Sirivardhana from the Department of Surgery, Faculty of Medicine, University of Kelaniya, members of the academic staffs, other invitees, participants from all medical faculties throughout Sri Lanka and abroad, and everyone who has joined to witness this event. Before moving on, let me give you a brief introduction about the quiz. This quiz was organized with the purpose of developing interest among the medical students beyond the scope of surgery and medicine we learn in our day-to-day lectures and clinicals. Here, we have interrelated medicine with entertainment, current world, history, mythology, and IQ in a broader view. I hope this will be a memorable experience not only for the participants, but also for the viewers. And also, this year's event will be extra special because we have members from academic staff of the University of Kelaniya who will be competing as honorary guests today. Now, I consider it a great honor to welcome Senior Professor Janaki Heva Vicenti, Dean, Faculty of Medicine, University of Kelaniya, to address the meeting.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for inviting me. I'll make this message very brief. Firstly, to welcome all of you, especially the academic staff and the students who are organizing this, the group of students who are editing the Apprentice Journal, I think the architects behind this event, and also all other students from other faculties. A warm welcome to you, and especially also my dear colleague, Professor Kemal Dean. Lovely to have you on this program, Kemal. And this is the second Mindspark quiz. The first one I participated avidly, and I was really overtaken by the enthusiasm and all the work that had gone into preparing for this. I was truly proud and amazed of that feat, and I'm sure the second one will perhaps even outdo the first. So I don't wish to talk to you at length, except to say that I really welcome events of this nature from medical students, especially when the initiative is theirs, because I think I do not have to reiterate the importance of soft skills among medical students who will pass out as doctors, skills that we can't teach in the classroom, but skills that we gain from organizing, conducting, and participating in events such as this. So without further ado, let me hand you over to the organizers, and good luck to all the participants. And I wish you all the success at this Mindspark quiz as well. Thank you very much for organizing this, and thank you for participating as well.
Thank you, Madam, for your inspiring words. Next, I very respectfully invite Professor Kemal Dean, Emeritus Professor and former Head of Department of Surgery, Faculty of Medicine, University of Kelaniya, to address the gathering.
Thank you, Fatima. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
So thank you for having me on this program. This is the second Mindspark program. I briefly watched the first one. I was very impressed. In fact, I have been a follower of your Medical Students Journal. I am a part of your WhatsApp group, though I remain silent because I'm overwhelmed. I think you need to do all of the work, and you're doing this work. Congratulations to my colleague, Professor Rohan Sirivardhana, and thank you, Janik, for those words of forcefulness and invitation to this program. It's been a while since I left Kelaniya, but my heart is still remains there. And I've got a few words to tell you all about what we are doing here today, which is an excellent thing, and that is competing outside our medical space. Competition is something that medical doctors will face all the while. You are competing with infection. We are competing with evolving science. We are competing with new infections all the time. We are competing with cancer that's changing the face of its attack. And we are always on our toes. Until you retire, you will compete. And so this is an excellent way of learning how to stay on the job, how to take wins and losses as they do. I hope we win more than lose. And it's important to learn how to lose, because you will then learn that life is all not about winning, but about making it happen for people and patients. Competition out of the framework of the medical school also teaches you life skills, like Professor Janaki was saying. And by the way, a little jest, when Fatima said, "Are you with us, Madam Dean?" I was a bit confused, because I'm not a madam, but I am Dean. And I didn't realize that you were referring to the Dean of the medical school. So very quickly, I realized that Janaki was who you were referring to. So I just stayed quiet. In case you thought I was a female, I'm not. Anyway, medicine is a science, as I said, and an art form. And unfortunately, from the time I was a medical student, medical schools are beginning to lose the science of teaching the art of medicine. We are learning more and more about science. We are learning more about this overwhelming science that we don't have time to learn anything else, because the science is huge, enormous. The curriculum has to stay within perhaps 5.5 years. We have challenges in our part of the world. We don't go to medical school sometimes because of the problems we are facing. And based on top of that, medical doctors are supposed to come out there and perform like we were pristine human beings. And that is a difficult challenge, particularly for us in this part of the world. It is a challenge that we must not lose focus of, and it is a challenge that we must meet, because it is up to us at the end of the day, clinicians as well as non-clinicians, to keep medical science in Sri Lanka at the best, in the best practices, and provide the best services for our patients. I'm a bit sad that medical teaching now has relegated the art of teaching medicine to a classroom module. Gone are the days when you would learn how to sit by the bedside of a patient and feel that patient's pain, feel the emotional pain, feel the troubles that that patient goes through, and feel the difficult situation back home when the patient has ultimately been cured and sent home. We don't have time for that anymore. The newer doctors I see and I interact with, because I'm still a practicing clinician, I have to say the majority they've lost that skill. And so you need to be mindful, you current medical students and young doctors have to be mindful of the fact that you might be losing a huge attribute of who a doctor should be. Doctors are here not only to identify and treat and win at a diagnosis and make the right treatment and send the patient home. We are here to make sure that we feel patient's pain, we feel the pain of the relatives. If by any chance we lose a patient, we got to understand that may be the breadwinner of the family, and that entire family has been destroyed for a while until they can pick up the pieces. We've forgotten all of this. And that is because medical students don't spend enough time. Enough time is what I'm emphasizing on with their clinicians. When I left Ragama in 2015, 2014 and 15, a final year medical student used to spend less than a week with me in a clinical setting. And that is because not that they were not interested, the curriculum was so packed and there was very little time for anything. And unfortunately, this is going to be the case. Increasing numbers of medical students in medical schools have not helped and contributed to this. So what I'm trying to emphasize upon is each of you medical students, the onus is upon you and no one else to improve yourselves, make sure that you are missing, understand that you're missing a part of hugely what a doctor is supposed to be, and take it upon yourselves to go outside that framework, think outside that box, to work as an elective, even on your Sundays, come out and work with your favorite doctor who you admire and who you think has the right skills, who you think is somebody who you would like to aspire to be, to spend time with him or her and acquire those skills, because those are life skills. You can learn medicine out of your device now. You don't need to go to a library anymore like we used to. Everything is on your phone. And so that is not what you should be learning. You should be learning how to feel the patient's emotional empathy. You should be learning how to feel the patient's pain. You should be learning of how difficult it is financially for patients. You should be learning about how to essentially be a part of that patient's family in the treatment. That way, the patient feels that you are the doctor for them and they are the patient for you. And if you can do that, you have achieved what your life's calling is. Because after all, emotionally intelligent doctors are committed for life to medicine. We may be committed to other things, but the number one thing we are committed to is medicine. This is our calling, and this is what our life is going to be involving. At least your life is. I'm mostly at the end of my career, but you will understand that. So if you have somebody senior like me telling you this, understand that the way before you has a lot of open spaces, a lot of blanks to be filled in. And unfortunately, and also fortunately for yourselves, you can choose how to fill that space. So this Mindspark competition is exactly something that is out of the box. I'm suggesting that you also get involved in many other things, such as literary affairs, world and current affairs, engaging in research, because it teaches you how to pack your mind and think logically. Doesn't matter whether you have a degree or not, no degree in research, but it does teach you logical processes more so than medical school does teach you. And if you can do all of this, spend an extra year, if you like, an elective, learning how to do this. This is not a sprint event where you got to keep in touch and keep a pace with your peers. It is a marathon, and that marathon can only be won if you learn the art of medicine, because everybody guarantees satisfactory and sound knowledge in the science of medicine, but we are losing that art. And please hold on to that tightly, because that will differentiate medical professionals from everybody else in the world. Thank you for having me on. Enjoy the Mindspark thing. I will keep an eye on this as I get on with the rest of my day. And congratulations to all of you medical students. Congratulations to the Department of Surgery, who I am a part of very much. Congratulations to Janaki. You know, she's been an excellent colleague, and I mean, she's in the right place at the right time. And have a good, enjoyable session. Thank you again.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your precious words with us. And sorry for the confusion. Now it's time for the most anticipated segment. The quiz master Shinar Subasingha will take over from now on. He will be giving you the instructions and will be conducting the quiz. All the best to our participants. The day is yours.
Thank you, Zainab. A very good afternoon to all of you. I'm sure everyone's eagerly waiting at the edge of your seats for us to start the quiz. Before doing so, I'd like to remind everyone that only the participants who registered beforehand will be allowed to take part in the quiz today. All the participants are required to log into Kahoot using the nickname you registered with. And all those who have not logged in using the nickname will be removed by our team. Please make sure that the screen that you use to log into Kahoot remains on at all times. I repeat, remains on at all times. Okay, let's move on to the Kahoot screen now. I'm sure everyone can see it. The pin you have to enter is 8123954. I repeat, 8123954. Or you can also scan the QR code to enter. As you enter your nickname as well. Okay, we'll give a few minutes for everyone to join. If you run into any issues, please contact us via our WhatsApp group. Guys, I'd like to remind everyone, again, if you run into any issues while joining, please let us know. We'll be starting shortly. Guys, there's a participant called Mangs, M-A-N-G-S. Please register with your nickname you registered with. like to remind everyone that only the participants who have registered before can participate today. Okay, and I'd like to remind Indivara that you haven't registered using that name. So I'd like to remind you that you have to log in using your nickname you registered with. Please bear with us as we confirm all the participants. That rule doesn't apply to our honorary participants, so you all can join in using any nickname you want. I'd like to remind all the honorary participants to send your nickname to the host through Zoom. Just drop a message to the host. Another small reminder, please don't let your screens turn off. Turn the auto lock off, because by any chance, if it turns off, you may be logged out of Kahoot. And please don't change any tabs if you're on your computer. Strictly stay on Kahoot. All right, the moment you all have been waiting for. I hope everyone's ready. And now we'll be locking the Kahoot screen, so no one will be able to join from now on. Okay. All right, I'd like to wish all the participants all the very best. Without further ado, let's begin. All right, our first question. This picture shows a well-known Australian national team cricketer. He was the first Australian batsman in the history of ODI cricket to score a century on debut, a feat he achieved against Sri Lanka in 2013. On 25th November 2014, he was hit on the head by a bouncer during a Sheffield Shield match. He collapsed to the floor and was taken to St. Vincent's Hospital in Sydney, where he underwent treatment. He never regained consciousness and died on the 27th of November 2014, 3 days before his 26th birthday. Which artery was damaged by the bouncer, resulting in hemorrhage and death of the cricketer? A. Basilar artery, B. Internal carotid artery, C. Vertebral artery, or D. Middle cerebral artery? The answer was C. Vertebral artery. Moving on to our second question. The Fates are a group of 3 weaving goddesses who assign individual destinies to mortals at birth. Consistently portrayed as 3 women spinners, each of these 3 fates had a different task, revealed by her very name. Spinner spun the thread of life. Allotter measured its allotted length, and Inflexible cut it off with her shears. Sometimes each of the fates was assigned to a specific period of time, past, present, and future. Can you name the transmembrane protein involved in anti-aging, named after one of the 3 fates? Is it A. Atropose protein, B. Clotho protein, C. Themis protein, or D. Lachesis protein? The answer was B. Clotho protein. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now our next question will be based on a short video clip, so please pay close attention.
Is this what you are, soldier? Some useless ghoul? The local madman? I'm not a soldier. You're gonna end up in a cell! Old! Worthless! Discarded! There's no mission. And while you rock and drool, the world will burn to ashes! You are not real! You are not real! You're still talking to me, soldier! There's no mission! I'm not a soldier!
This is a clip from the 2001 film A Beautiful Mind, which is based on the life story of a Nobel Prize-winning mathematician who suffered from schizophrenia. What is the name of this mathematician? A. Will Hunting, B. Alan Turing, C. John Nash, or D. David Hilbert? The answer was C. John Nash. All right, we'll be moving on to our fourth question, which is an IQ question. You will be allocated 120 seconds to answer this question. So please get your pens and paper ready. A fictional turkeypox virus produces a special viral protein synthesized by 3 special types of enzymes. Enzyme alpha can add 1 amino acid at a time. It takes 0.3 nanoseconds for its function. Enzyme beta can add 4 amino acids at a time. It takes 1.5 nanoseconds for its function. And enzyme delta can add 7 amino acids at a time. It takes 2 nanoseconds for its function. What is the best enzyme combination out of the following to synthesize the viral protein in the least amount of time? A, 100% alpha, B, 50% alpha plus 50% delta, C, 30% alpha plus 70% beta, or D, 40% beta plus 60% delta. All right. The answer was B, 50% alpha plus 50% delta. We'll be moving on to our fifth question. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard are well-known Hollywood actors who got married in 2015. But later, Heard filed a divorce in 2016, alleging Depp had been physically abusive throughout the relationship. Since then, Depp has been publicly criticized by multiple newspaper publishers, including British tabloid The Sun. In 2019 March, Depp filed a defamation lawsuit against Heard, which attracted a large number of viewers as well as considerable social media commentary. Amidst all the attention, Heard's diagnosis of a psychological disorder made by Dr. Shannon Curry, forensic psychologist, has entered the public lexicon. What is this psychological disorder? Is it A, schizoid personality disorder, B, post-traumatic stress disorder, C, histrionic personality disorder, or D, bipolar disorder? The answer was C, histrionic personality disorder. Moving on to our sixth question, a patient who deliberately consumed a bottle of organophosphates presents to the emergency unit and is given the routine treatment of atropine and is stabilized within a short period of time and then discharged the following day. This same patient, after 48 hours, presents to the ETU, now with difficulty of breathing, weakness of his proximal muscles, and a facial nerve palsy. The patient then develops a fatal arrhythmia and passes away, leaving the medical staff baffled. This condition was later coined the term intermediate syndrome, based on a publication made by an eminent physician hailing from Sri Lanka. This physician is also an individual who has made a name for himself as an author, a film and television scriptwriter, especially a famous teledrama which aired in 1988, which revolved around an individual suffering from epilepsy. Who is this renowned physician? A, Professor Kumaradasa Rajasurya, B, Professor P.B. Fernando, C, Professor Nimal Senanayaka, D, Professor David Worrell. All right, the answer was C, Professor Nimal Senanayak. Ladies and gentlemen, as we've come to the halfway point of our quiz today, we'll be taking a small break by viewing the leaderboard. Okay, as you can see, there's an intense battle going on. I hope everyone's having an amazing time, the viewers as well. Okay, now let's get back to the quiz. Our seventh question for the day. This picture shows the South African athlete who was the country's flag bearer in the 2012 Summer Olympics. The twice Olympic gold medalist and three-time world champion in the 800-meter event has been under the spotlight in the past, after emerging victorious in the World Championships. The IAAF says it was obliged to investigate after she made an improvement of 25 seconds at 1,500 meters and 8 seconds at the 800-meter events, the sort of dramatic breakthroughs that usually arouse suspicion of drug use. She had to undergo various tests, and in March 2010, she was denied the opportunity to compete in track and field events. However, in July, the IAAF cleared her to return to international competition. Which of the following led to the controversy around her? A, high levels of erythropoietin, B, exogenous anabolic steroid use, C, enhanced endogenous testosterone secretion, or D, she was a transgender woman. All right, ladies and gentlemen, put on your thinking caps for our next IQ question. You will be allocated 60 seconds for this question. Please get your pens and paper ready. At a sporting event, 200 athletes were found to have used illegal narcotics. Evidences suggest that all of them have used only one drug out of the following 5. Multiple empty vials were found. 34 vials of cocaine, 15 vials of methadone, 40 vials of oxycodone, 95 vials of diamorphine, 16 vials of pethidine, totaling 200 vials. If you take one urine sample from each of the athletes, what is the minimum number of samples you should take to be 100% sure that you have samples of all 5 drugs? A, 96 random samples, B, 186 random samples, C, 200 random samples, or D, 105 random samples. All right, the answer was B, 186 random samples. Now we'll be moving on to our 9th question. Michael Jackson is one of the biggest pop singers of all time, also known as the King of Pop. He was born in Gary, Indiana, and began his career in music at the age of 5. For the next 3 decades, Jackson pumped out smash hits and made smashing headlines. The singer underwent a barrage of physical changes during his time in the spotlight, and various rumors about him had spread from those within the industry to public media outlets. However, the state of his overall health wasn't completely known until after his tragic death in 2009. He was also found to be suffering from a certain skin disorder that caused some areas of his skin to be lighter than the others, which he covered with makeup and depigmentation medications. Jackson died in 2009 as a result of a lethal drug overdose. Which of the following drugs is attributed to mainly have caused his death? Is it A, diazepam, B, propofol, C, ephedrine, or D, morphine? Brilliant. Okay, the answer was B, propofol. Ladies and gentlemen, our next question is also based on a short video clip, so please pay your close attention. This clip is from the 2011 film Contagion, which is about a fictional worldwide pandemic. Since the COVID-19 pandemic broke out in 2020, it has risen to popularity. What is the actual virus that inspired the MEV1 virus in this film? A, Zika virus, B, SARS virus, C, Nipah virus, or D, Ebola virus? The answer was C, Nipah virus. Okay, moving on to our next question. The last case of indigenous malaria was reported in October 2012. The success of the elimination program was mainly due to the sustained action that was possible with the existing structure of the anti-malaria campaign and the evidence-based approach adopted. These organized malaria control activities commenced in 1911 in Kurunegala when Sri Lanka was a British colony. In 1913, S.P. James and S.T. Gunasekara first incriminated the mosquito Anopheles crucifaciens as the vector of malaria in the country. The greatest malaria epidemic in Sri Lanka was recorded in 1934-35, which took 80,000 lives in 7 months. What synthetic insecticide was introduced in 1946, which allowed the dramatic reduction in the countrywide malaria incidence? Is it A, DDT, B, malathion, C, aldrin, or D, chlordane? The answer was A, DDT. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is our final question for the day. It is also an IQ question. You will be allocated 90 seconds to answer this question. Please get your pens and paper ready. In an area endemic for a certain viral disease, 4 variants of the disease were detected. Some vaccines give cross-immunity for multiple variants. 4 live vaccines, P2S, were manufactured using these 4 variants. Vaccine P gives immunity for variants A and C. Vaccine Q gives immunity for variants A and B. Vaccine R gives immunity for variants A and B, but it causes variant D infection. Vaccine S gives immunity for variant D. One additional point is infection from variant D will nullify the immunity against variant B. Assuming prevalence of all the variants is equal, what's the best vaccine to provide long-term artificial active immunity for the most number of variants? A, P vaccine, B, Q vaccine, C, R vaccine, or D, S vaccine? All right, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of our quiz today. Now let us take a look at the podium by moving on to the Kahoot screen. Coming in at third place with 5,869 points is Janidu. And coming in at second place with 6,266 points is Jacqueline. And at first place with 7,268 points is Aditya. Congratulations to all of you. I'd like to congratulate all the participants as well. I hope you all enjoyed and learned a thing or two. Okay, over to you, Romain. Thank you.
Thank you, Chinal. First of all, congratulations to all the winners and the participants. I hope everyone had a good time in quizzing and expanding their scope in general knowledge and IQ related to the medical field. Now, I respectfully invite Professor Rohan Sirivardhana from the Department of Surgery, Faculty of Medicine, University of Kelaniya, who has played a vital role in initiating the Apprentice Journal and also been a constant guidance for us throughout the whole process, to share a few words with us.
Yeah, sorry, I was unable to unmute myself. Yes, first of all, good afternoon to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll keep this very brief now that we have already finished the quiz. I'll probably try to highlight one important point, which is important at the beginning of your medical career. I've been in medicine for almost like last 20 years, and took quite a long time for me to realize that medicine is far beyond studying facts, figures, and try to remember them and try to repeat what you have remembered. There's far beyond beyond remembering things. And I've seen many top-class professors with very exceptional CVs, with classes, distinctions, but when they come to the real world, when start working with people, they have become failures. Job that we do, I think you heard that from Professor Kemaldeen as well. We work with people. We don't work with books. So you have to develop people skills, because you have to understand people. You have to understand how people feel, how people think. And if you don't understand that, you will never become a successful clinician, a successful doctor. So during last couple of weeks, I have seen all of you guys doing a lot of hard work, planning things, arranging things, talking to people. When you find a difficult situation, you have a backup plan. So all these are skills that you have to learn and you have to develop to become a successful doctor. Otherwise, you will be a failure. So just to conclude, once again, let me congratulate all of you guys, and let's proceed with the rest of the proceedings. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
It's time to find out the names of our winners today. In third place, we have J.D. Karunaratne from the University of Kelaniya. In second place, we have KPM Sridhara from the University of Colombo. And in first place, we have AMP Jayasuriya from the University of Colombo. Congratulations, guys. And let me remind you that the first place will be awarded with a practice certificate for your achievement, and the second and the third places will also receive exciting prizes. We have time for one participant to share their thoughts about the quiz. So if anyone is willing, we would love to hear your comments about today's quiz.
Hello, yes, I'm Kelaniya Vikramasinghe from University of Rohuna. I'm a fourth year medical student, and I just wanted to say that I really enjoyed the experience, and medicine is beyond just the things that I in textbooks, learning about these backgrounds in mythology and literature and drama arts, everything else. It's a really exciting experience, and best of luck and congratulations to the winners, and hope to see you again soon again. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts. If the winner is willing to speak to us, we would really love to hear your comments about your achievement and also about today's event. So if the winner is here with us, we would like to hear your comments.
Hello, yeah, I'm Aditya from University of Colombo. I'm also a fourth year medical student, and I was the winner today. And I would like to say that this event actually sparked a lot of interest, not only in me, but many of my friends as well. I took this, I saw the poster, and this was the first time I actually heard about this competition. I did not know about the first one, but I watched the YouTube video, and it was really exciting because you have actually covered a lot of aspects that we usually don't meet in medicine, like Khalid said before. So I wish you all the best, and I really enjoyed this event, and I hope you can continue doing this in the years coming. Thank you. Was I audible before?
Yes, we heard you loud and clear.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your comments.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you so much for those loving comments, and it would really inspire us to continue with this quiz. And now I would like to invite Tavish Edusuriya, Editor-in-Chief of the Apprentice Journal, to speak a few words and to address the meeting.
Hi guys, I hope I'm audible. I'll just keep it kind of short. It was an amazing stellar performance by Uchit and the entire team behind this year's Mindspark. Having been part of the team which organized the last year's Mindspark, I must say, I know just how hard it was, and it's amazing that you managed to pull this off without a hitch. I'll be pretty brief. So actually, I just wanted to announce something that the Apprentice Journal is currently open for submission. And if you need any more information about it, you can find it on our Facebook page. That's basically actually all I wanted to say. And once again, I congratulate the winners and everyone who participated. And I'd like to thank Uchit and his entire team and everyone else who helped, especially to keep our minds off this kind of unpleasant situation in the country right now. This was just the thing I feel. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Now we have reached the end of today's event. We hope this session helped to ignite your interest in reading beyond the boundaries of the medical field. Finally, I invite Uchit Abhayavikrama, student coordinator of today's event, to deliver the vote of thanks.
A very good afternoon to you all. We just witnessed an exciting battle of knowledge and intelligence. On behalf of the organizing committee of Mindspark 2022, I'd like to start by extending a heartfelt thanks to the Dean of our faculty, Professor Janaki Hirayashanti, for gracing today's event and for all her support towards its success. I'd also like to express our appreciation to Emeritus Professor and former head of the Department of Surgery, Professor Kemal Dean, for gracing this occasion today and sharing with us his pearls of wisdom and knowledge. I would also like to express our utmost gratitude to our mentor and advisor, Professor Rohan Sirwardhan, for his valuable guidance and assistance from step 1 all the way to the conclusion of this event today. Next, a very big thank you goes to all our contestants for the enthusiasm they showed in participating and competing. Congratulations to winners and commendations to all the other participants for putting up a tough fight. I'd also like to thank those who tuned in to watch today's event. Your support and presence made our day. Finally, a big shout out to the Mindspark team for their devoted dedication and support in bringing about today's event. It certainly wasn't an easy journey, but along the way, I think we proved what good teamwork can achieve. We hope Mindspark encouraged you to expand your knowledge and that each and every one of you, from the participants to those watching, learn something new today. Thank you. Good day.